Abbott Elementary is back for its second season, well deserved, and it is receiving all types of attention as it should. I will give you a quick synopsis. So, Abbott Elementary is a workplace comedy centering around an elementary school and the people who work in it. So, it's basically The Office, but centered around teachers and the principal. So there are a bunch of different similarities that you can pull from with The Office and Parks and Rec. It's a documentary type or a mockumentary type show where they look in the camera and you see different confessionals from the characters, which are always funny. But it's also got the silly boss element and the complimenting of the silly boss with the overproducing, overachieving employee in Janine. So you have the principal who barely knows what's going on, is mainly just trying to do TikToks.
She pale like a zombie. You know they eat the hottest people first. Let me back my tasty ass up. Okay.
And then you also have Janine, played by Quinta Brunson, the creator of the show. And she is the overachieving teacher that has those different comedic elements, that raw physical comedy, the honest confessionals, the awkward workplace situations and conversations. So there's all that. But then on top of that, there's the added element that it takes place in a Philadelphia elementary school. I am a product of the Philadelphia school district, and they got everything. They hit the nail on the head with the comparison. And I also love the fact that they called out these things.
But exciting. We about to be on TV.
Because they are covering underfunded, poorly managed public schools in America.
The school district is broke. You would think there's, tourism in Philadelphia. Okay, money could go to schools. No, you're wrong. It doesn't. I don't know where the school money goes, but it's not to elementary schools, and it's certainly not to books. Our curriculum was based around PA standardized tests at the time, and because the standardized tests determined how much funding the school was going to receive. And so they really were just prepping us for those tests and weren't necessarily teaching us everything that an elementary schooler should know. So, not the best. And they call that out in this show. And I love the fact that they're also calling out that there are gems like Janine's in the school district trying to make the best out of what they have, trying to come out of their own pockets. So, because, like I said, the school district's broke. So sometimes teachers really do come out of their own pockets for certain supplies to help kids understand. They were dragging the school district low key. She also called out the cultural differences that can sometimes or oftentimes arise between teachers and kids in the inner city schools. So these students honestly live a life that contrasts greatly to the teachers. And so sometimes they cannot understand where they're coming from in terms of trauma. There isn't that respect always there because they feel like, oh, this teacher is a person who has it better than me in the world, the person who doesn't understand my struggle.
Look, you are a white teacher in a black school.
I am not Hillary Swank and Freedom Writers.
You are Hillary Swank and Freedom Writers.
Being the cultural minority basically in their own classroom. So, and then the last thing that I wanted to call out about the school district was the overcrowding of the buildings. Oh my gosh, especially now that several public institutions have been shut down and turned into apartments and luxury living. There is a big gap between the average person in Philadelphia and the elite in Philadelphia because of all the different shopping and opportunities and whatever, the metro life, whatever. It has attracted more and more high income earners that are also receiving incredibly interesting tax rebates so that they don't have to necessarily give back to the community, and we're not necessarily receiving what needs to happen in order for expansion and growth and all that to happen. But back to the show itself, I want to talk about why the show works, why it's so good, why I think it might be a freaking classic. Not only is it funny, but it's paced in a way that you enjoy the entire episode. The A plot, the B plot, the C plot, all of it is fun. And all of it feels equally interesting. It doesn't just feel like an aside or a throwaway. It feels like a true ensemble cast here. And I think they also complement each other perfectly. Tyler James Williams, I think his name is, the guy from Everybody Hates Chris. He plays a teacher or a temporary teacher who's like, should I start leaning into this life? And then he slowly starts interjecting into the group. You start to see more of his personality come out. And it's really interesting to see the way an introvert works his way into a friend group, how he slowly warms up to a friend group. I thought that was beautifully played by him. But he's great with ensemble cast. He did Everybody Hates Chris for umpteenth amount of seasons. What was that, 6 seasons? The scenes with Tyler and William, oh my gosh, you guys have to see a couple of those scenes, even if you don't watch the show. Like, I've only named a couple of cast members. There's several other ones that are breakout, hilarious, did interesting things with their characters. Honestly, this entire cast, really, they just know their characters so well already. The fact that this show was created by a Black woman, and not just a Black woman, someone from Philly, is incredibly inspiring to me in particular. And let's show more stories like this. Her character is lame. Like, you see the Mindy Kalings where you're dressed all the way up, and there are those, but there are also Janines in the workplace. So yeah, I just appreciate the show, and I can't wait to see where they take it. I'm a couple episodes behind on season 2, so I have to get myself caught up. And if you want to get caught up with me, you can watch the show on ABC, or you could watch it back on Hulu or HBO Max. So yeah, thank you guys so much for spending time with me. I had so much fun chatting with you about Quinta Brunson's brainchild. Shout out to her again for creating this for the city. But yeah, if you're enjoying my content, make sure you're subscribed. I'm a sporadic poster. I don't have a schedule, but I will be getting to you at some point. Thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.